Hi everyone, welcome back to Eclectic Alu. This is Alina from Argentina. Today I'm answering a question that I got. It was about self-sabotaging. I can't pronounce it in English because in Spanish it's autosabotaje, the self-sabotaging, and also procrastination and all that. So I wanted to say, in the narcissistic family where parents are narcissistic, what you get is this message. So you go study, you do things, you have to be good at what you do, but in reality the subliminal message is, don't you dare be better than myself. And that's what comes up now as an adult, where it's difficult for you to stop procrastinating, maybe, okay? And go for your goals and do things that you really enjoy, because it's painful actually, because every time you try to do that growing up, you receive this subliminal message or undercover message where, or even sometimes very explicit, where they yelled at you, you're not good enough, you're not doing things right. Or the more covert way, which is more Machiavellian, like, okay, yeah, go study, I want you to succeed, go be successful and all that, but don't you dare be better than me, because whenever you tried growing up as a kid, you would be bullied into saying, okay, that's not right, this is not what, every attempt from you to do things, doing, that word being so important right now, okay? Because this is what you need to do, to go into action, start tractioning the action, start moving. That's what's most difficult when it comes to self-sabotaging. So yeah, it's very important that you understand that you've been trained or programmed to basically not do anything, because everything that you tried before in the past was criticized, diminished, invalidated, and was not good enough. So that's your training, that's your programming, and that's what you had to do in order to survive in that environment, in that abusive environment. That was a smart thing to do. You had to not be better than your narcissistic parent, because that wasn't, accepted. Do you want to survive in this family? In order for you to do that, you will have to not be better than me, okay? Let's be clear on that. But I'm going to pretend, as a narcissistic parent, that I'm going to, push you to be good, to be better, but don't you dare even try, because I will punish you in different ways, like ignoring what you're saying, criticizing everything you do, making you believe it's not enough, making you believe it's not perfect, which, by the way, one thing that you will need to internalize, believe, is that there's no one in this world that is perfect. Nobody's perfect, and that's great, because we get to do things and make mistakes, and that is going to be okay. Like I wrote on my Instagram something like that, and actually you get to make mistakes and it's going to be okay, actually. There are tons of stories about writers that wrote a novel that in the end it ended up being very successful, but they had to present it many times, and they had to face rejection from different publishers, like tens and maybe dozens of times before they got the deal to publish the book, and the book ended up being successful. So we know we're not perfect and we can make mistakes, and now I need you to repeat that to yourself, every day, all the time. That's one thing. And then understand the dynamic, the neuroplasticity that was built in here growing up in an abusive environment, where you were reduced to just stay there, do what you have to do, but don't you dare be better than me, okay, at anything. So that's the message that you internalize, because when you tried, I'm sure you you tested this growing up. Somehow you tried to do things, and as a kid, or even in a romantic relationship, you would do things and you would be criticized to death, so that you don't do anything, and you stop trying. And that's what you internalized. So we need to undo those pathways and create new neural pathways. That's why you need to have a lot of self-discipline to be a ninja, a warrior. You need to focus, you need to reparent yourself. Change those messages from the inner critic or from the superego in the Freudian psychology, which is all those messages that you internalized growing up. Superego has a function, and that is to guide you through life, pushing you to be better, and that's good, and protecting you from danger, that too. But when it comes to toxic parents, the superego is inflamed, the inner critic is inflamed. So we need to reparent ourselves, give messages to ourselves that are positive, that are forgiving, self-compassion, be kind to yourself. So the idea growing up in families that like this was for you to not excel, for you to not thrive. But now we're going to change that. How do we do that? By reparenting ourselves. And it takes work, and you can do it daily. We start by managing our state, exercising, drinking water, all that, the things that being in contact with nature sometimes helps a lot for many people. Eating healthily, all that. And also emotionally acknowledging your emotions, knowing what you feel, and reparenting yourself. Reparenting yourself is key, and this is about telling yourself short sentences, like, for example, I am allowed to do things for myself. I'm allowed to want to thrive. I want to thrive, and that's good, and I can do that. And don't say to yourself you're perfect, you're the best, because those messages don't work. The superego is very smart, the inner critic is very smart. So say things like, I can do this, and I will make mistakes, and that is going to be fine, okay? That is going to be fine. And then what I recommend is writing goals in a piece of paper, writing them down, and coming back to those goals, I don't know, periodically or whenever you want. But there's something about writing and writing your goals, why you want to do this, what's the purpose, and why do you feel you like doing this, and then take action, small bits of daily action towards that goal. But don't be so hard on yourself and try to, achieve everything in a short term, or just go and do it. It's about the minimal thing that you do each moment. It's about each moment leading up to the next moment, and to the next moment, and to the next moment. So when we talk about managing your state in psychology, this is key to have a baseline, of health in your body, which takes you to a better place physically, and then you feel better emotionally, and then maybe it's like dipping your toe in the water and then trying this. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, I thought it was going to be cold, but it's not that cold, so yeah, maybe I will dip my feet in there, okay, and see what happens. What I'm trying to say, it's about baby steps and doing things, every day, one more thing and one more thing. With this inner cheerleader, it's about repeating to yourself, I can do this, and I'm allowed to be better than my parents. This is a very important one, like when it comes to narcissistic abuse, knowing that you are allowed to thrive, to be better than your narcissistic parents, because growing up you were told, no, don't you dare, right? But now it's your job to reparent yourself and say, like a normal healthy parent would say to a kid, please be better than me. You can be better than me. I would hope for you to do that, but if you don't want, it's fine too, you know? You're allowed to be better than your parents. And you consciously making that decision that you are allowed to do that in order to thrive. So in a way, you have to give yourself this permission to be better than them, better. And it can feel very selfish for victims of narcissistic abuse, but it's all about what you tell yourself. So you need to tell yourself good, positive things and take little actions every day and have a lot of self-discipline in order to overcome this sabotage, this procrastination, this fear of being wrong, this fear of making mistakes, this fear of not being successful and all that. That doesn't serve any purpose, you know? That's your toxic parent talking to you. So every time you get these messages from your inner critic, which is your internalized toxic parent, just reparent yourself. That's my advice to you, okay? And write down your goals. That's another one. Okay, I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Share it if you found it interesting. And let me know anything that you want to know. Please write it down below in the comments. And give it a like. Thank you. And subscribe to this channel, okay? See you next week. Bye-bye.